It really is. I mean, Clemson has the pedigree. They've been here before many times. And in fact, they've won 7 of these games since 2015, whereas SMU, the upstarts. And yet they are the favorites. As you mentioned, right now, looking at the Wager Talk free live odds screen, SMU minus 2.5, total of 56.5/57 for the ACC Championship game on Saturday night. And look, let's be real. Loser, this game's not getting in. You know, SMU, if they lose, well, guess what? They're a 2-loss SMU team, and somebody like, say, Alabama, another 2-loss team might get in ahead of them. One would think so. And Clemson's certainly not getting in as a 4-loss team. So there is a ton on the line with this ACC title game. Clemson kind of backdoored their way in, Miami losing at Syracuse last week, and SEC had already clinched last week and had a pretty easy go against Cal. 8-0 for SMU in their first season of ACC play, picking up right where they left off last year. Have a chance to make some history. The first team that could win consecutive conference titles in 2 different leagues. Before I really break it down, let me promote for just a moment. I'm running good, guys. 67% all sports run over the last week. I'm 10-5 my last 15 in the NFL, 62% since September. The NBA's hot, 67% run. I'm plus 199 units since 2012. You can take advantage and get on board. Get all December, just $199 every play, every day, in every sport, which is normal price $299. You take $100 off of that if you want to get on board. No promo code needed, or use TC365 at checkout. Get 1 year all access, just $99 a month. That's every play, every day, and every sport. $99 a month. TC365 at checkout. So we talk about SMU, you know, what'd they lose? They have 11-1 overall. They lost week 2 to BYU. That ended up being a pretty good team. But they've only been underdogs twice all year. They were underdogs at Louisville. They were early home dogs to TCU, which shows where they were power rated early in the season, which is not great. And in terms of stepping up against quality competition, we haven't seen a ton of that from SMU. That being said, I am a believer in Kevin Jennings and this offense. All right, 30-plus points in 8 of their last 9 games. And the only one they didn't, they won 28-27 at Duke. They had 6 turnovers in that contest and still ended up with 28 points. But the key to this bet, for me at least, is that SMU defense. All right, a defense that Clemson has a better defense. And in general, we're looking for quality defenses catching points. But it's not like SMU hasn't been getting stops all year defensively. And I don't trust Clemson's offense to move the football. Look, Clemson had 3 step-up games this season. They lost to Louisville. They lost to South Carolina. They lost to Georgia, 0-3 ATS. And in those 3 games, 14, 17, and 3 points. All right, they haven't scored more than 24 in any game against an FBS foe since the 3rd week of October. Sorry. This offense isn't good enough to trade points with SMU, and I don't think they can get stops for 4 full quarters. Clemson's offensive line has struggled repeatedly to open holes for the running backs, and Klubnik has been under pressure. That's why he threw all those interceptions last weekend, why he might throw some here. If I'm playing, I'm laying. Mustangs or pass for this better. Laura?
Teddy, I got 2 quick questions here, and let's start with the first one. On Friday, we had Dave Mason on, and one of the things we spoke about is why is the money line different in every game in relation to the spread? We've got a minus 2.5. In some games, the money line could be up to minus 160 with a minus 2.5. It's minus 135. It feels to me like that would be the right bet here instead of laying the 2.5 points. Why are you going with the 2.5 points instead of laying 25 cents extra?
25 cents extra. You're capturing 1 and 2. If this game comes down to 1 and 2 and the 25 cents is worth it, I'll look like an idiot. In general, money lines for me, for favorites, minus 1.5, minus 2. Once you get to 2.5, the juice is a little bit too high. And look, if I'm right about this game and there's a class difference between these two offenses, I don't think it's going to matter. And if it matters, again, that's 25 cents for, and again, the 135, that's not the prevailing number for this. Look at the Wager Talk free live odd screen. Minus 135 is the best you're going to find for this money line. So really, for most clients, it's 30 or 35 cents to capture the 1 and the 2.
That's
in my mind, that's a little bit too much for this. Yeah.
Yeah. And I agree. I think once you get to 145, you're right. It's too much. But if you can get 135, I think there's value there. My second question is, and you mentioned this at the top when you discussed pedigree. How much of a concern is it for you on that pedigree perspective? Because this SMU team, nobody saw this coming at the beginning of the season. They are absolutely rolling. They've won 9 in a row here. Is this one of those where they're just happy to be here, or is it no? So this team is good enough to lay the smackdown.
They won a conference title last year, so certainly Clemson has the name. All right, they've been in these games. They've been playing for national championships. SMU hasn't.
Yeah.
But when we talk about recent form, the last couple of years, SMU has a pedigree that makes me comfortable that they deserve to be favorites over Clemson, despite Clemson's success 3 and 5 and 7 years ago.